So just a little continuation for anyone who watched the last video about the Open G Center and this continuous conditioning of wanting to have a purpose and a direction, or have a partner that you can have a purpose and direction with. After that, recording it that day, or the next day, there was a lot of purging and release that happened, and a seeing of where this drive comes from, seeing it again. It's like a whole complex, right? It's this complex of the fact that my parents didn't see me or understand me as a child. So there's a drive in the ego to be seen. And I know it's ironic. It's ironic to me that I'm making this video again, because maybe there's something that still wants to be seen, but who cares? It's always such grace when we go through these purging, shattering processes, and really it just comes down to letting the body and letting the emotions release. And the mind, just was in this vice grip of a headache. And in the aftermath, it's just, I'm like, thank you, because something fell away. Like a chunk of this seeker energy and this wanting to be somebody energy, the Open G Center, and then wanting to know, have certainty about things, the Open Ajna Center. In the aftermath, the shattering, there's this like, oh, there never has been anybody. This is like a radical human design thing that, I've always thought Ra was pointing to truth, the whole passenger consciousness thing, and he talks a lot about being helpless and incompetent, right? So the ego and the whole complex of these thoughts about, it seems like it's pointing to somebody. That has always been going on while the body has been doing what it's doing. So the journey has just been the way it's a program. It's a program. That's why astrology and human design are so amazing, because they describe the program so accurately. And yet, there's all this propaganda in the Maya. Yeah, we can't look to the Maya to be, to show us the truth. There's all this propaganda that you're a chooser and a doer, and that somehow you can have any influence over the dream and the character. It really, really feels like I am somebody and I can make choices and do something. But in my own journey, I've realized it's all about surrender more and more. And anytime the mind thinks, like, catches on to this propaganda that I need to do something, like make a goal and do it, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. It sets me up for feeling guilty, disappointed in myself. And it's just becoming so obvious that the program is playing itself. And yes, there's probably still identification that there's someone that wants, oh, I can't even say that, because there's like, whatever's happening is happening. I discovered uncompromising non-duality. And a couple of these freshly awakened people that just talk about it's all just happening, and it was said in a way that I hadn't grokked it before in my body. And so after this shattering, that the message of non-duality got in deeper, and it's like a relaxation into there's just this moment, and whatever's arising in this moment is what's happening. There's nothing else. And the self is both the space of emptiness that's containing the program. It's also the program itself. It's also the ego arising as someone that's identifying with having a purpose. And so everything is just playing itself out. And like I think the intention and the devotion to truth is really, I mean, even that, like, but I think that's really all that matters, is just this like true intention and ability and willingness to be humbled, right? Willingness to be softened, willingness to be cracked open and feel the emotions. Like this, the emotional body is a huge part of getting to the truth in all aspects of the being. So we can't avoid that part, and I can't avoid it. It's just impossible. And who is there to avoid it? But my journey has been about just like feeling the intensity of these emotions that have been stuck in the body, and feeling like it's gonna fucking kill me. It's gonna tear me apart. It's like that. But that has been grace, because it's opened something to it's opened the ability to feel the silence, to feel the stillness of the being, to feel the expansion of the self, and to be able to rest in that more and more. So, and this I could see this character. It's not about choosing one direction and going after anything. It's like that. Where's the fun in that? Where's the freedom in that? Freedom is, we have no idea how the character's going to be moved. But when we see that it's all an illusion, that there's no one that can change anything, that there's actually no one here, all the thoughts, all the ideas, all the stuff going on in the brain, in the mind, is just an overlay that is not talking about anything real. And it's all just happening, and it's, yeah, so the shatterings are grace. And then, yeah, so this conditioning of the open ajna, that there's somebody who wants to know something and have security about knowing something. I think maybe that's open head also, but as long as there's somebody thinking they know somebody, the process isn't finished yet. Really knowing for sure that there's actually no person, and there never has been, all the way allows for some sort of like communication. I feel it now. There's like words coming and explaining and some understanding, but then it just goes to nowhere and it's gone. So yeah, it's been helpful to understand some things on the journey, and then at some point all concepts and knowing get thrown out the window, because it's like being in reality is better than trying to know anything. It doesn't mean the thoughts continue. Those thoughts will arise, but there's no longer mistaking the thoughts as real. I was pointing to anything real. Yeah, you guys, can you feel this? Uranus is about to go direct. There's an acceleration, at least here there's an acceleration for awakening on the planet as things get more intense in the world. There's like opposite things happening, and so it's just like this is the time to just let go of everything that's superfluous, to resting in this moment and enjoying, well, and continuing the deepening of the knowing of what's dream, what's the dream, what's matrix, what's the program, and what's reality. Of, realizing we're eternal. We can't die. It's like that's where the power is, when we recognize the truth. And we can allow the play to just play and just enjoy it. Easier said than done when there's a contraction and the body feels like it's on fire. But my teacher said that the beingness that is alive and vibrant and joyful, peaceful, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just that the mind has a label of things, of what's going on. So when there's contraction, the mind says, oh, this is a contraction, and then it covers up the beingness in its focus on the contraction, in the sense of me and I'm in pain. But the possibility is to be in the intensity while holding on to the stillness and the silence and the peace of the being. So continuing to be the watcher of the intensity, and realizing it's not happening to anybody. It feels like it is. It's all just arising and falling, and there's no problem. Even though the mind is going to have a problem with it, it's going to try to fix it, change it. The intensity in the body is what's purging all the gunk and the identification and the conditioning that's in the way of our true freedom. So thank you, beloved, for dragging me through hell again and again and again. Thank you for this shattering. There will be more. Well, that's my update. Thanks for your comments. I appreciate I got a few comments from people, and makes me want to just keep sharing. Yeah, just because perhaps it helps, or you can relate. and know that you're not alone. We're doing this, guys. We're awakening to the truth. Well, there's no one to awaken. We're realizing that we've always been awake. The self has always been here. It's just the ego, crazy ego mind that's been a bad habit. It's losing its grip. And we can return home to what we've always been. Yeah, let's keep going. Blessings to you.